Welcome to the LCG Production Podcast. I'd like to welcome Life on the show. How's it going?
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me.
No problem, man. Thanks so much for coming on. So just to start off with, what's your sort of background with music like? How have you ended up where you are now?
Well, I've always been into music. I was always working on like band stuff in the earlier days when I was probably like before college. And by the time college came, the band wasn't working as much. We weren't doing as much songs and writing and all that. So I went into a different avenue of making beats, music production, learning more about that and falling in love with it. And I just kept going at it, and here I am now.
Yeah, that's cool. So, how do you think that your sort of band experience sets you up differently for someone who just like gets into beats straight away? Like, do you think it's helpful to have that sort of background of music theory, if you have any?
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, music theory has only been something I've been learning recently, but I think something that is only learned through working and playing with other musicians is feel. And I think that's what a lot of new producers actually, they lack. They lack a lot of the feel in it. Like their drums, they always sound really monotonous, and maybe their melodies are also like really like stale. So it's like ear training. When you work with other musicians, you get like a better feel of how the music should progress and how it should move forward.
Yeah, definitely. Something I'm really interested in is like how important do you see collaboration? Because obviously if you started off with like working with groups, I can imagine that sort of puts you in like I guess you probably, tell me if I'm wrong, but like you probably enjoy working with like groups of people or like collaborating on music.
Yeah, it's actually it's less stressful.
Yeah.
If you're with a lot of other musicians, you can kind of, especially people that you really respect and like have a good quality of musicality to them, you can kind of trust them that they'll bring in their work, and everyone's just going to try to give their best work and bring it forward to whatever the song or whatever everyone's working on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I guess for like, because it's mostly like rappers listening, so how important do you think it is for them to collaborate with people on songs?
Oh, it's nice that you mentioned that, because there's actually I have a YouTube video coming up like tonight, actually, just in a few hours, that I collaborated with this rapper that hit me up asking if he gave me this content idea that he'll give me an acapella and I'll try to make a beat around it, or the other way around. So I got the former. And with regards to like the question you said, like how important is it to collaborate with like other producers and stuff like that? First of all, it's really important because now I have like this relationship with him, and we know how our music tastes are, and we know how to work with each other. And it's just, the more people that you know, the more chances you have of opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like, I guess in all your time making music, what are some of the like biggest opportunities that just happen from like talking to people? Because for me, like the big things happen when I'm not looking for them to happen. Like if you go out and like, in my opinion, at least, if you go out and like try and be like, okay, I'm going to whatever, like network with like these people, I'm going to speak in like this way, like nothing's going to come of it. But if you just try and be like friendly with people, like things can happen.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes people don't really want to work with like the biggest music or the biggest producer. Sometimes they just want to work with someone they jive with.
Yeah, definitely. So what are like the things that you've learned from, I guess, like networking with other musicians? Like, what's the best way to go about it for people listening?
I guess just be normal. If you can think about it in a way that, how would you approach them in person? Because essentially it is the same thing. It's just we're doing it. It's a lot simpler now because we have the internet, social media. But I think the words you choose should be the same way you would approach someone in person. Like if you saw them out in the streets, you're not just going to go up to them and say, "Hey man, I love your work." let's collab. Like everyone's gonna be like, no.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're like just let's be a little less awkward and just try to, interact as if you were with them in person.
Yeah, for sure. And like, for rappers listening, like, I don't know if you ever get messages just being like, send beats or like something like that along those lines.
Surprisingly, I don't a lot. Just because I think the Instagram platform has a lot of those trap artists.
Mm-hmm.
So most of them don't really look for what I'm making.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a few sometimes that they really just go like that. I just ignore them.
Yeah. So like you have your own like lane of music. How important do you think it is to like find your niche, or is it okay just to do sort of everything?
Okay. In the business or like the marketing standpoint, like point of view, I do get why you'd have to, pick a lane essentially. Like pick a lane and then you kind of focus on that, and then that will just build your brand up even more and more brand awareness, which is always good. But as a creative, sometimes it's just nice to do a lot of things to increase your skill set. And yeah, so basically like the advice I'd probably give to people who are starting out is just try out a lot of things, try out a lot of music styles, something that you really like, and see which ones you like the best, and then make that mostly your brand. But of course, like in the side, you can do the other stuff if you enjoy doing those as well.
Mm-hmm, yeah. So I guess my next question is like, what have you learned? What are the biggest takeaways that you learned from building like a personal brand around being an artist?
Well, the artist thing has been kind of new. Like I've been like making songs, probably just like last year and this year, and it's new. It's new because I've always been branding myself as the music producer, the chill hop beat maker, and stuff like that. And like one of the biggest things I've learned really is just the brand is not the product. The brand is you. The brand is you as a person. And because we're musicians, it's a lot more lenient on what we can make our brand about. So my brand right now is not about, being a beat maker or producer. It's more of like a musician, not overthinking, and just being yourself. Like that is my entire brand.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And like, have you had any struggles along like having to figure that out? Or did you know that from the start, that's what you're going to
do? Yeah, I definitely struggled. And that's the reason why my brand is like that now. Because the whole don't overthink is something that I used to do a lot. Especially with like music I would make, content I would make. I'd always be overthinking. Like for a long time, I was just on the Instagram platform just because I thought that was the way. If I just focused on the one platform, that is my way to build a bigger audience. Until I realized that I had to do other things, YouTube, TikTok, and other stuff. And what I've noticed is that my growth has been a little more. It's been growing a lot more when I stopped overthinking a lot of things that I used to overthink about, like the content. Like if I thought of an idea that I thought was pretty good, I would just video it right then and there and edit it and just post it, like without any hesitation. And I think that's the problem with a lot of musicians, rappers, artists, beat makers. They always like hesitate on things that they probably shouldn't, because you'll never know until you actually put yourself out there.
So you should just like, when you like let your followers determine what's good content is what you're saying, like post it and then you like, because you don't know whether it's good or bad. Yeah,
exactly. No one will ever know. Like some of the things that I do not like that much end up becoming like a fan favorite for my followers and my supporters, like videos, like YouTube videos. And yeah, like really just let them be the judge of that. And you're just supposed to provide the content, the music. all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I want to go back because you said, so you originally started on Instagram and then you branched out to more platforms. How many platforms should people listening be on? Like all platforms? Some people say 2 platforms. Like, what's your opinion?
2 platforms is good. I think the least should be 2. If we're talking about like brand awareness, 2 should be like the minimum that you're doing, because it's a good way to practice not just using the same content in every single platform. Because I know of people who will boast about being in like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, blah, 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 blah. But then literally every post is literally just the same thing rehashed everywhere. And I don't know. It's just, to me, I feel like there's context. Like you wouldn't post the same thing on Instagram, what you would post on TikTok, or what would you post on Twitter or YouTube. So it's just like social media context.
Mm-hmm. So can you speak a bit more about that? Like, because I think that's really important. So contextual content for each platform.
Yeah. So on Instagram, I've noticed Instagram has a lot of bigger audience for the beat making side, or everyone's a beat maker that also like does so they just enjoy listening to the music. So I've noticed that just those simple beat making videos have been doing a lot better than my other stuff. And TikTok right now is in an interesting place where there are so many educators and so many videos about learning new things, because people there's so many people in the world teaching about the most obscure things. So in that route, when I started my TikTok, I went in the route of trying to teach more music production stuff to people who are interested in that or haven't really learned too much about it. Like they're complete beginners. So that's what I mean by contextualizing. I wouldn't really post a video about how to load drum samples in your DAW, or even what a DAW is, to Instagram, because most of my followers there already know about those stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Like the whole thing about Instagram is the homepage is people who you follow. So like you need to take that into account when you post. Like they already know whatever it is that you post. So say you're like an artist of this genre, they already know this genre. But on TikTok, the homepage is people who you don't follow. So you need to post with the knowledge that they don't know anything that you're talking about.
Exactly. Like it's just the bringing value, because since the platform is really just like you're scrolling, you don't go through people's profile. If you start with a sentence like, here's how you blah, 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 blah. And if they're even slightly interested in that, they will watch it.
Yeah. So what type of content have you found like that works really well on TikTok? And like for people listening, what could they take from that?
Okay, so for the music producers, right? Right now, the best content that has been working for me has been my rehashed YouTube videos, but in the TikTok platform. It's like, like a little summary of what I was doing in my YouTube videos, and vocal mixing. That's something like a lot of people enjoy, because I feel like there are a lot of artists that just want to know the vocal mixing side and not the production side. So they seem to be enjoying my mixing and my advice on how to properly edit your vocals. And yeah, that's what I've been doing mostly.
Yeah. And like for rappers listening, do you have any like ideas for what they could be posting?
For rappers, I think you should just go on every beat maker's TikTok and find something you can do it with. Like that's just it. Like most of the rappers that I follow on TikTok are the ones that duetted a beat of a beat maker that I knew of. So they should take advantage of that. Like, especially if your verse is good. Like if your verse is really good, sometimes those beat makers will repost that, and that's just extra promotion for your profile. So yeah, for the rappers, just duet beats that you really like. And yeah.
And should they also be doing that on Instagram? Because obviously you can like remix reels now. Do you think that's a good idea?
Right. Yeah, I've been seeing that. You know, the interesting thing about reels, it's not in the Philippines.
Really?
Yeah, it's not like the reels that I've posted are like workarounds. Like what I would do is I would click on a reel, and then I would click the use audio, and then I would delete that audio, and then I could post on reels. It's a weird workaround. That's I can't just click reel. Yeah, it's really dumb. But yeah, if you do have that feature, you should definitely be using it.
Yeah, for sure. And I guess going on to like YouTube next, what sort of content have you found works well on that, and how is YouTube different to TikTok and Instagram?
To me, YouTube has been the reason why I'm not doing so many tutorials on YouTube is simply because I don't want to do long video tutorials. I feel like even I would get bored watching those. Like I'm not really that type of educator. I'm more of like here's like the basic rundown of what you should know, and here's another one. But for YouTube videos, it's more of like, this is what I do most of the day. Like, oh, hey, let's make this. It's like how gamers approach their gaming videos. Like, there's gamers who literally just, oh, this match was insane. This game was insane. Oh, this gun is amazing. It's kind of like how I approach my YouTube videos. Like, this plugin is amazing, or I made a beat with this. I made a beat with the ukulele, stuff like that. It's just it's a channel where producers can just lounge and just watch as a form of entertainment rather than education, and also learn a few things too.
Yeah, for sure. I guess when making content, have you ever like got burnt out or just like taken a break?
Of course.
And how do you stay consistent? What's your sort of like mindset behind that?
Of course, man. Like I've always had like those little burnouts with content, especially. Also because like I was in school a lot. Like I just graduated like a few weeks ago, and I was struggling having to deal with school stuff, make content, and like all that stuff. And one thing that just helped me make content is just by, again, not overthinking what my content is. Like I don't have to make this big video with all of this quality production of whatever graphics or animations you want to be adding, or whatever lighting issues you have. Like I try to make it decent enough for people to be able to watch, and then I post.
Yeah. And does that like stop you burning out then, just like not caring about it?
Yeah, because in my head, these are just things that I do normally, just with a camera on my face. Mm-hmm. So it's like, making a beat, or trying to teach something, or basically like it's just getting used to the camera if you're camera shy, which I was.
Yeah. So like, do you think it's important then just to have like the skills of being able to talk to a camera? Because like when I started out doing that, I found it really difficult as well. And like, how do you get over that? Or like,
I'm honestly still like trying to get through it. It's just, I thought that, I thought at the start that I was pretty good on camera. Like I wasn't like being too awkward with it. And then you watch the old videos and then they're just like, oh God, they're just like so awkward. Like it's just hard to watch, but it's really just, you just keep progressing. Like don't look back so much, like if you made a mistake there, don't look back, just keep moving. It's a lot faster to learn if you just keep moving forward rather than dwell on what you did. So I'm trying to make yourself more comfortable on camera is really just do it a lot more often.
Mm-hmm. And like going back to like people burning out from like content, because I speak to a lot of people and they don't like a lot of the content they make, they don't really enjoy making it. Mm-hmm. And they get burnt out, whatever. When they do reach that point, like, do you think it's important just to like step back and take whatever, like a week break, a 2 week break, or should you just push through it?
Yeah, they should definitely like take a break, because, well, just additionally to like taking that break, they shouldn't just take that break and just like literally just do whatever the fuck they want to do. Wait, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, you say whatever.
Yeah, okay. So they just Like they shouldn't just do whatever they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
They should use that week break and just try to, reflect, think what made them burn out. Why weren't they enjoying their content so much? What would you enjoy making content more of? There's this beat maker right now. His name's Kaze Beat, if you know him, and he's big on TikTok right now. And he started off just doing a lot of like beat making videos, and I think he just wanted to take a break from that. And he's been enjoying making content about cryptocurrency. So that has been like his content, and now he's still like going at it. So it's use that break wisely by trying to reflect on why you were burning out, why you were not enjoying the content as much. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the Kaze guy, so he originally started making like beat making videos, right, where you duet them, and then he changed to like a completely different style of content. Do you think that worked for him? Do you think that's a good idea or like a bad idea?
I think it worked for him because of two reasons. One, it's on TikTok. So when he made his first whatever cryptocurrency content video, people didn't know that he was a producer, or at least like the new people that TikTok was pushing that video to, they didn't know that he was a producer. And secondly, he's just knowledgeable at it. Like he's very good at discussing about that topic. So the reason why that's such an important move, or why I can't say if it's a good or bad idea, is if a lot of people want to change content to chase a fad, chase a trend, because this is what's doing a lot better, then they'll see that. They'll see that you're just trying to get part of the wave and the trend. But if you actually are good at what you do, you enjoy what you do, it's a genuine passion for it, then people will know that. So no matter how far off your original content from your original content, if you are as passionate as you were to the original, then people will still mess with it.
So it's really important to like stay true to yourself then.
For sure. Yeah. That's also part of the brand, is just staying true to yourself. Yeah. I can see why it would be like an issue, or like, it's a big jump, but it works because he's actually it's the same amount of passion he did for music with that type of content.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say to especially rappers, like they're not necessarily staying true to themselves, but they're just trying to grow really quickly? Like what would you say to those people?
There's, I wouldn't call it a trend, but there are a lot of rappers now doing this whole song a week thing because of the whole Russ thing. Like Russ made a song a week for this many weeks and he blew up, and they don't realize that he figured out what his sound was and his craft. So the problem with the whole song a week thing is they're not giving the time to their craft, and they're not giving the time trying to improve their skill set. So, sorry, what was your question again?
Like people who aren't staying true to themselves, but they're just trying to, I guess, chase a trend to whatever, get on TikTok so they can bring more people to them.
They're just a lot of artists like just keep doing the same trap stuff. Like I know they enjoy that, like sure, like they enjoy that, but I have a lot more respect for artists, and I think they can push themselves to a new sound in the same genre, but still unique enough that they should probably work on. Like not just copy someone's flow, copy someone's beat, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I think artists can push themselves to become more unique.
Yeah, definitely. Just to wrap off, what are some of the biggest sort of mistakes that you see rappers making right now?
Not hitting me up for beats, bro.
Yeah.
Prod by Life on BeatStars. No, but I guess. I have a good one. Not having any knowledge on producing.
Okay.
Like rappers are just rappers these days. So what happens is whatever budget they have, they end up having to use it on, that buying beats, studio time, and mixing services and stuff like that. There is a basic level of knowledge that every rapper can have. That way, they don't have to spend the entire budget on the production of the song, because there's a lot more budget that can be used in marketing and advertising and promotion. Like, unless of course you're good at that, but as an independent rapper, you really have to use your budget wisely. And a good way to do that is investing in some hard skills in production. So I think more rappers should know how to produce.
Yeah, for sure. So just to finish off then, where should everyone find you on like your socials? And is there anything that you've got coming out soon that you want people to know about? Yeah,
so you guys can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Prod by Life. Anything new? Oh, I do have a Discord. I do have a Discord server where you guys can be updated to all unreleased songs, announcements, new YouTube videos.